Okie dokie. Oh boy. Yes. So this film, it certainly happened. Okay. So Anthony Mackie as Sam. God, I forgot his last name. That's terrible. I mean, that's how it just shows you how much I don't really care about this character, or the world that he's in. I know he was Captain America in the comics. It's not lost on me. I get it. I know that's a thing. And he has his fan base. He has his favorite and all that kind of stuff for some people. I get it. I will say, before I start going into the negatives, I will say that he was the only thing, or the only actor, I should say, the only actor on the screen that seemed like they gave a damn for being there. Like he was giving it what he could. He worked with what he had to work with. For those of you who've been keeping track of the production of this movie, it's not news that this movie's been through a lot of trouble. Reshoots. It just wasn't going well. Dailies weren't going well. Screen testing wasn't going well. So what are you going to do? This was going on in a time where political stuff, social political aspects were being pushed into everything, and this movie was having some of that enter its script and its production. And rumors have it that they went back to the well to reshoot what they could relatively last minute in the scheme of things, to reshoot what they could to salvage this movie. And it shows. I'll say that. It really does show. There's a lot of awkward scenes of people who are talking to each other that are clearly not in the same room, where you have like the whole switching angles of people, where they could have been walking and talking to each other or interacting in the same room with each other as they're discussing or arguing or whatever, but it was just an obvious green screen, obvious I'm talking to a tennis ball, I'm reacting to something in front of me that I'm supposed to be talking to someone, and it just felt like you couldn't connect with it, which is disappointing. And you can tell that there's a certain villain. I'm not going to go into spoilers. There's a certain villain that they've reintroduced or revisited, I should say, in this movie, that you just said, what? Like, even I was like, what? Oh, okay. Like, all of a sudden, cool, I guess. But it seemed really shoehorned in. The introduction to the person, to this villain, there was no build up to it. They were just suddenly there in the shadow, but they were revealing enough that you could tell who it was if you've been watching these movies for the last 100 years and you're going deep into the well that, Marvel's 500 years into their MCU, and they're going all the way back, and just expect you to remember or recognize who this is, even though they don't look like that the last time you saw them. I just know because, I just know. And I recognize who it was because I recognize the actor, their voice, their profile, all that kind of stuff. I recognize who they were. And it just took me all the way back. I was like, okay, I already know who this is. I know where this is going. And it kind of went, okay, this is what they're doing. It's just how they implemented the character. It just felt really forced. And I believe that was part of the reshoots. If it wasn't, oh boy, this was bad from the beginning, which is really disappointing. They had a lot to go on there. I think part of the problem is Sam, does he have his own villains that are noteworthy that have already been shared in the MCU so far? Or could this movie have taken time out to build his own? This movie is all about this. Still, I thought they addressed this in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series on Disney Plus, right? Where the whole series was him coming to terms with, is he worthy of the shield, worthy of the title, the mantle, all that kind of stuff. I thought they already did this, right? But this movie just retreads that same step. So I was like, oh, really, this again? Okay. Where at the start of the movie, they established him as being appreciated, being loved by people. He was on good terms with the military, and all this kind of, like, it was all kind of, hey, we've done this song and dance before. Hey, thanks Cap, like all this kind of stuff. Like he made it, like he's done it, he's proven himself, right? And I thought already did that, but then this movie just went all over again. So I was like, okay, fine. But then it started to retread the same steps of Captain America: Winter Soldier, like the plot threads, plot points, moments of that movie almost to a T. Like the first whole intro of that movie is essentially that. It's a mix of Winter Soldier and Civil War. And I was like, okay, I've seen this before. Awesome. So we're getting yet another Sam Captain America series / movie story of him coming to terms with, is he good enough? Right? But we're just retreading plot points and plot threads and story beats of Steve Rogers, Captain America's time. Like, it just felt like, okay, it's really on the nose. Right? You've got a character who's trying to come to terms with it, but he's going through the same steps and motions as his predecessor. I'm sure there's something poetic in there that they were trying to do, but it just didn't hit. It didn't land for me. There's some real slow points where even I was sitting there going, oof, oh boy. Like, I took my wife to see this on Valentine's Day. I mean, she loved it. She really enjoyed it. She thought it was good. But I was like, yeah, it had its issues, and we discussed on the way home. But you know, like I can't not see it. Like I went in there going, you know what, I'm just going to enjoy this. I'm going to take my reviewer hat or critique hat off and just enjoy this with my wife. But yeah, I found myself sitting in the chair, just going, oh really? Oof, and like, you know, checking my watch a couple of times because it was just really slow moving and disappointing. Quite disappointing. Also, there's some fight scenes that just felt not impactful whatsoever. Just, I don't know what it is. The fight scenes were boring. I didn't feel any of it. There was maybe two parts. So I thought, yeah, that was cool. I won't point those out. You'll see them when they happen. But the rest of it was like, okay, all right. He's not a super soldier. I'm not buying this. He's just a dude. You know, so I'm not buying it that he's taken out a whole room, defying physics and all that kind of stuff, and he's not a super soldier. They even say that a number of times in the film, reminding him that he's not a super soldier, and he reminds himself. Like there's a sequence where he's plummeting down towards Earth to get the drop on some bad guys, and he breaks the sound barrier or whatever, or there's a plume of like, you know, like he breaks the sound barrier or air bubbles or whatever. He's an air barrier, whatever. And he lands in the superhero pose, but he's just a dude, right? Going that fast and then bam, pose on the ground like nothing. His bones should have been destroyed, you know? And then he gets up and he's like, wait for it. And then the sound boom comes down and knocks people over and stuff. I'm like, okay, since when, like, are you a super soldier right now? But he's not. So there was just a lot of, like, you already have to suspend your disbelief, right, going into these things. I get it, but it's like, hey, come on. The whole point of his character was he is just a human. He is just a dude trying to do the right thing with what he's got available to him, leaving to a legacy and all that kind of stuff. But come on, you know, let's not break physics while we're there if you're unable to do that. Anyway, talking about breaking physics, there's a chick in this who's like a Black Widow type character, who must be like 30 kilograms, like just tiny. Like you could just push her over with no issues, right? And here she is, like she's tiny, man. Everybody else just towers over her, and then here she is doing one of those corridor fights, like taking down dudes that are like 100 kilos or whatever, you know, and picking them up and throwing them down and stuff. I'm like, really? Like, how that does not? I don't believe that. You know, I don't believe that. Like, I'm pretty sure anyone can kick the stuffing out of me if they really wanted to. Whoever they are, right? If they really put the effort in, yeah, sure, you know. But come on, there's a limit. There's a limit to everything, and that was one. Anyway, look, the rest of the movie happens. The set pieces are cool, and that's pretty much it. You've seen some of it in the trailer. Like, if you've seen the trailer, you've pretty much seen the best things about this movie. You've seen that they acknowledge the Celestial coming out of the planet And what the whole point of that is, and they've even told you in the trailer, it's, hey, it's full of adamantium. That's what we're calling it, right? And those who are in the X-Men lore know what adamantium is, right? That's Wolverine stuff. That's Weapon X stuff. That's X-Men stuff, right? And then you've got the Red Hulk that they revealed in the movie. I think that would have been so much cooler. I don't know what else that they could coax you to go see this movie without that in there, but I know why they put the Red Hulk in the trailer, because why else would you go see this? Like, if you removed all the Red Hulk stuff out of the trailer, it did not look good. It would not look good. But that had enough in it where I thought, oh wow, they're going to do this. Like, I thought they were going to go all the way. The Red Hulk just, I won't spoil it, but I thought they were going to do more with the Red Hulk. There's not much left in the movie that you haven't seen in the trailers about the Red Hulk. Sorry to say, but for what's there. You do get a bit of a sense of, oh God, like this guy's in real trouble at Sam with the Red Hulk. And where I was like, oh, this got interesting. And there's one really awesome shot of a massive thunderclap, like a Hulk clap, and just what it does to the surroundings and the buildings behind him, and just how they composed that shot and kept the continuity in extra shots where you still see the debris falling around. Like, it just looked like a big thing that just happened. And to see everything just like I don't know. When you see it, you'll understand. I just thought that was a cool ass shot. And there are some cool ass shots in here. So look, I think they tried. They really did. But unfortunately, Anthony Mackie, if he had a better movie to work with, this could have been good. He's not the problem in this movie. I'll say that. He did the best he could. I don't know what else he could have done except ask for a better movie to be a part on as his first kind of big solo movie as Captain America, after his Winter Soldier series that's full of DEI, SJW stuff. Thankfully to say that a lot of that's not in this movie, which is obviously part of the reshoots, which is good to see, but it also doesn't leave you wanting anything else. Like, you could have missed this movie and nothing really you wouldn't have missed anything, right? They've gone through so many movies without acknowledging this celestial, the celestial island, they call it. They've gone so many movies since the Eternals of not acknowledging it. What's one more movie? Maybe you could have just revisited it for a better movie, right? Because essentially, William Hurt's unfortunately passed on, so he's no longer there to be Thunderbolt Ross. So you've got a recast as Harrison Ford, fine, right? But the big things of this movie could have been shoehorned into another one and been just as impactful, is what I'm trying to say. Nothing here happens that's important. Nothing. Nothing. Where other Marvel movies tend to progress the overarching storyline somewhat, right? And feel free to tell me your opinion on that, but I don't think this moves the story anywhere except remembering or reminding people that the Celestial Island is there. They are going to do something about it. And Sam is still Captain America, and he is still struggling with it. And that's it. And hey, you remember some of those early Marvel movies? Hey, we're going to reference a lot of stuff from those. And that's it. So yeah, I'd probably wait until streaming. And I hate to say that because I hate streaming. But wait for that or buy the DVD if you're really considering wanting to see it. I am a sucker and I'm a massive hypocrite. I believe the Captain America through line in the MCU is the strongest. It's my favorite through line of the MCU. And I feel obligated to pick this up on Blu-ray. But oh, wait a sec, I can't do that because Disney don't produce physical media anymore. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this movie. I'll try and import it maybe if there is a option to import, but or hey, heaven forbid that I sail the high seas. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this movie. Unfortunately, I don't have anything better to say about it. Some of the CG is great. Some of the combat scenes are great. Some of the visuals are great. That's all I got. Anthony Mackie was good. The rest of the movie sucked. So take my opinion with a grain of salt. If you just want something to watch, go see it, enjoy it for yourself. I don't want to take that away from you, but I'm just letting you know my thoughts. Make of that what you will. Cool. Awesome. Sorry about that. All right, so next up, we're going to go and discuss some of the PlayStation State of Play thoughts and the what games that stood out to me. Yes.